Hello, this is Brio of Brio Productions,
And I'm Juan of Paper One Productions.
and we are going to show you Crossing Bound 2 and put our commentary on it.
Yep, we're commenting on another Crossing Bound, the second Crossing Bound.
So here we have the Crossing Bound title, which I made it pretty much like the Earthbound title, where it just zooms in from the left to right.
Yeah, it's definitely related to the Earthbound one, except not that flap when it's about to come in.
Right. So here we got the character select screen with the character select music, and then you see Brio, Lore, and Olga. You don't see Juan right away because he hasn't really been mentioned just yet. He'll be mentioned. He'll certainly come in later.
Yeah, I wasn't in there yet. Yeah, you can tell I wasn't there right now. See?
Yes, but here right now I'm talking about Juan, saying he's supposed to meet us here, but I'm mentioning he's not going to be able to. We're not going to be able to wait around. It's too dangerous. So we go ahead and assume that he's already in the other room, but he's not really.
Yep, I'm not really there.
So this wasn't really mentioned quite literally, but Olga has like a sixth sense and can actually sense things before they happen to a minor scale. So she knew that MBU2 was coming, and sure enough, there's MBU2, and we go into battle.
So she's a psychic in there?
She is a psychic. She's kind of like Paula. Someone in our group had to be the second nature, and I chose that to be Olga. So here we're fighting the MBU2, and obviously you can tell we're pretty tired because our attacks are doing crap, and our health status is pretty low except for Olga.
Except it goes down pretty quickly after the Mecha Brio 2-bitter.
Yes, so MBU2 paralyzes us, and then he is charging up his hyper cannon, which he unfortunately does not get to use.
Oh no, the hyper cannon!
Yeah, I needed to give MBU2 another attack other than his primary bite attack, so boom, hyper cannon. And who enters?
Me!
There's Juan, and he does this totally kick-ass move on MBU2 and dominates.
Emphasis on kick-ass.
Yes, that animation, it took quite a while, but it was well worth it, I think. And I really enjoyed that entrance right there. It was really good.
You know, it kind of looks like I'm coming out of the James Bond entrance. Yeah, I wasn't there because, well, you see, the way I said it was, says it all. I was out there, one-man war out there. I mean, seriously, one man, that's me, against a whole bunch of machines out there. Should have seen it. Oh yeah, and by the way, Brio, you kind of messed up on the window there. I couldn't see the sky.
That's alright. I didn't try to animate the outside world. It would have been too confusing and take way too long.
Yeah, you're right.
So with this, we get up to the Devil's Machine, and basically, I was trying to go for the Earthbound thing where you actually see Ness's face inside.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how to portray that, and this wasn't trying to revolve around one person, so I made it reflective. So that's why you're able to see all of our faces in there, and it's reflective like that. So it actually does start out like the Earthbound scene with the Devil's Machine, with the shaking and the earthquake and the zoom in. And,
yeah, sorta.
yeah. I tried to make it as close to the game as I could. So there's Ronald McGuigas, and the battle starts.
Okay, let's see. We start fighting.
Yeah, you use your attack.
Yeah, PSI Quasar Alpha, a new move I learned. But it reflects. Nothing works on him at all.
Nope, it doesn't work, and it just bounces right back at us.
Bingo, just like Orlando.
Well, our attacks wouldn't work on Orlando, but they wouldn't deflect back at us, but, you know, they're kind of similar. So, Lore says, well, let's see if he does anything. So, there he goes using my PSI LSMness right against Juan, and, of course, Juan's not too happy about that.
You see, I know I said that, but, well...
But that was good, because Olga's retaliation actually pissed off Ronald McGuigas.
Yeah, I wasn't trying that. I mean, sure, it pissed off McGuigas and all that, but, I wasn't really planning on that, really. I mean, I didn't even know that would happen once I talked about that, yeah. Yeah,
we weren't really, planning for McGuigas to start cracking the Devil's Machine like that.
That was until it cracked, and then, we figured out with that we had to insult him to break him.
Exactly, so we just continued on with the insulting, and boom, he breaks out of the Devil's Machine. And there we have Ronald McGuigas, and I make that comment saying just when I thought he couldn't get any uglier. I mean, you know everybody was thinking that at that point.
Yeah, you're right. Gygas form people are always that ugly. Trust me.
So anyways, for the Gygas attack, it's just basically what Gygas in the original Earthbound was using, and it looked just like that, you know, with the little pink circle and the beams light shooting out of us. So, I tried to make sure that when Gygas was talking, he was talking to Juan, you know, like whenever he was talking, he was like saying, Juan, Juan, I'm Gygas, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, you're right, like what the original Gygas does for Ness.
Yeah, so here you can see, after he goes to his second form, he's saying, Juan, 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 and then he does, you cannot grasp the true form of Gygas' attack, and he attacks Juan, and he attacks me, and he's only doing about 100 HP of damage.
And here comes PSI Inferno.
Yes, with PSI Inferno, I tried to make it seem like PSI Fire, but I made it my own version. So now we get the Fetus McGygas.
Oh my god, we're all gonna die, yeah!
And he's all, oh, I'm happy, oh, Garu, and...
Yeah, he's not really that happy, he's lying.
Yeah, Ronald McGygas is starting to show some signs of battle fatigue, and you're going to start to see that in this next attack. They're just not going to be as good. It's basically the same attack, but it just doesn't do as much damage.
Alright, you see, his attack has been grasped. You say we cannot grasp it, but we can.
And here comes Quasar Omega.
Yep, PSI Quasar Omega. It doesn't really work when we do it by ourselves. We have to do it together. We have to use it together in order for us to use Omega.
That's right. So just by ourselves, it's the regular Alpha, but together it's the Omega.
Yeah.
So here's where Olga's saying he's becoming critically unstable and he might not make it through the retransformation. So here we have the static. Now this static was it was actually easier to do. If you see how the Gygas effect was made videos, then you'll see exactly how this was done. And I could probably guess it took about an hour and a half to do for that whole Gygas scene with the static and whatnot. But it turned out really well.
I can see you did the static effect by yourself because it's still looking a little bit yellow.
Yeah, it's not exactly the red like it was in Earthbound. If you were to actually tone that static down, you would see that the Ronald McGygas wall is still playing in the back.
Yeah, it's not exactly red, not exactly white like from TVs and all that, just yellow like the McGygas himself.
Exactly. So there's Ronald McGygas, but he's actually back to his Ronald McDonald self.
We should go pick somebody else for a Gygas person, but I didn't know who else to pick. And I couldn't pick Spygas because some people never heard of Team Fortress 2.
Exactly. Almost everybody's probably heard of Ronald McGygas, so that's where that comes from.
No duh, why do you think I picked him?
And of course, who was behind it all?
Yeah, it was Orlando.
Orlando. Or at least that's what he wants us to think. For now. Little do we know that Orlando is actually a good guy, but he has to portray that he's bad. Otherwise, the true evil behind all this would catch on to him. So we go into battle with Orlando. Hooray!
Again, you go into a battle with him again. So basically, for you, it's mostly deja vu.
So I say, don't attack him. It won't work. And Laura's like, so how do we make fun of him? And I'm like, no, he'll just throw it back at you. And that's very true to the real Orlando. He doesn't really you can't really insult him, you know. He usually takes whatever you say and throws it right back at you. So here I am using Chronopod Alpha Omega. And basically that's supposed to counteract with his PSI Orion, which he's using right now.
Wow.
And
yeah. It's it happens again. See, again, deja vu. What did I tell you? Deja vu.
And there's the not the time rift, but the temporal rift, or the dimensional rift.
Okay, I really don't get that part. What did Orlando mean when he said, "But you are Brio after all"?
Okay, well, see, that's a foreshadow of what happens in Crossing Bound 3, where in Crossing Bound 3, he already knows who I am. He knows I'm the animator, so that's why he's saying you're Brio after all. That's why that's.
We've been wondering that for these months.
And of course, that's to be continued over in Crossing Bound 3.
Yeah.
And what Crossing Bound movie wouldn't be without the credits.
This time it's below the characters this time. The names are below the characters this time.
Yes. Well, that's basically it for Crossing Bound 2. We'll see you in Crossing Bound 3.
That's right. We'll see you later.
This is Brio, or Brioshi Productions.
And this is Juan of Paper One Productions.
Bye.
Are we done yet?